want to thank you so very much for joining us for this Mental Health Summit. I'm Wanda Laird, Executive Director of NAMI Alabama, and we are so pleased to have with us this morning, former State Representative Paul DeMarco, and he's going to be assisting us throughout the day in emceeing our program. This summit was coordinated, as you can see from your program, by the Alabama Disabilities Advocacy Program, the Alabama Council for Behavioral Health Care, and NAMI Alabama. And we all three organizations teamed up with the Department of Mental Health to invite the high caliber of speakers that you will hear throughout the day. So Paul, if you would share with us a little bit about our theme for the day.
Okay. Thank you, Wanda. The theme for the summit is a matter of time. How we use our time profoundly impacts how our state's mental health system operates, and is one of the most valuable gifts we can give loved ones and friends who are developing, living with, or recovering from mental health conditions. This summit is so important because we've brought all the stakeholders together. And if we're going to move forward to really solve the crisis when it comes to mental health, you've got to have the stakeholders at the table. So thank you so much to NAMI for organizing this, working with the Department of Mental Health. And I hope by day's end, you'll really have a lot of takeaways on what we can do to work together as a team. We live in a great state of folks who want to work together to solve our state's issues. And this is sincerely one of our great state issues dealing with mental health. So thank you so much for taking time from your work, from your families to be with us today. To make this work, we have to work together. And we've got to work with our state and our state leaders. And I know our commissioner is going to introduce some of our state leaders today. Wanda?
All right, thank you so much. Paul, as we all know, this would not be possible without our sponsors, and so we would like to recognize our sponsors at this time, beginning with the bronze sponsor. We have Bradford Health, Danny LaPlatte, who is the community representative for Detox Units. Thank you, Danny, for being with us and for helping sponsor this event. Next we have as our other bronze sponsor is the Montgomery Area Mental Health Authority. Henry Parker is the executive director for the authority, and we also have representing the Mental Health Authority today, Bruce Howell and Caroline Horton. Give them a round of applause. We appreciate your help. Our silver sponsor today is Crossbridge Behavioral Health, which is a Baptist Health South facility, and we have the CEO of Baptist Health, Russell Tyner. Our next silver sponsor is Pharma. We have Robin Demonia representing Pharma. Robin is the Senior Vice President of Direct Communications, and she facilitated this sponsorship. She is also a member of the NAMI Alabama Board. And so thank you so much, Robin, for helping facilitate this sponsorship. Thank you. And Paul, if you will share with us our gold sponsors.
Okay. Thank you, Wanda. Our first gold sponsors is Alkermes, Inc., and Gail Cordial, who's the Associate Director of Government Affairs and Policy, is here, as well as Mr. Stacy Thompson and Leah Ahmadi is here as well. From Janssen Pharmaceutical Companies of Johnson & Johnson, we have Scott Willett, the Director of Healthcare Policy and Advocacy. So those are our gold sponsors, if you'll give them a round of applause. And then for our platinum sponsors, All Point Health Systems with Turk Schlesinger, the CEO, as well as Julie Belcase, the Chief of Staff, and Carol Mann, the Director of Public Relations. If you'll give them a round of applause.
Absolutely. And our presenting sponsor for this event is UAB Medicine Psychiatry. We're very grateful to Beth Kane for organizing this sponsorship and for inviting several of the members from UAB to be with us. So Beth, we thank you very much for bringing with you Patricia Scheifler, Harry Finley, Robert Savage, Toby Martinez, Bobby Prince, Tim Holder, and Nate Horsley. Give them a big round of applause for serving as our presenting sponsor for our Mental Health Summit. At this time, we're going to ask Judge Wes Allen to please come forward and lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Judge Allen.
Let's all stand. Face the flag. Attention, salute, pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. At this point, I'd like to introduce Sheila Hurley to come to the stage. She's the Executive Director of CED Mental Health Center, and she will introduce our next speaker.
Thank you, Paul. Good morning. I'm so happy to see this room full. Everybody's worked so hard. I have the pleasure of introducing, some of you may know our commissioner, Commissioner Jim Perdue, but he has actually started with the department in July of 2015. A lot of work going on. And I want to tell you a little bit more about him prior to this appointment. And some of us may slip up and call him Judge, and there's a good reason for that. He was a probate judge in Crenshaw County for 12 years. He served as the president of the South Central Alabama Mental Health Board and a member of the Alabama Mental Health Advisory Board of Trustees. Not only that, upon his appointment, the governor made a comment about him, says, "We have significant progress in the treatment that's occurred with mental illness, intellectual disabilities, and substance abuse disorders in Alabama. Jim Perdue will continue to promote the efforts and work with the department to staff and help the families and the consumers of the mental health services." Jim is a 1973 graduate of Auburn University. I was waiting for some, okay. Actively involved in his community. Listen to this. He's a member of the local boards and commissions and Laverne Rotary Club, Crenshaw Community Chamber of Commerce, Crenshaw Industrial Development, Alabama Private Industry Council, South Central Alabama Development Commission, South Alabama Home Builders Association. He's a busy man. But he has a wonderful family. He has Miss Sandra, his wife, and 6 children and 6 grandchildren. And he's very active in the First Baptist Church in Montgomery. As many times when the commissioner has talked to us in different meetings, he's talked about building things. So here we are today, ready to build some more efforts. So with no further ado, Commissioner Perdue.
Thank you, Sheila, and good morning, everybody. I speak around the state almost weekly, and so I've done a lot of meeting with people, but I got to tell you the truth, I'm nervous today. This is absolutely an incredible event, and it wouldn't be possible without all of you. But there are a couple of people that I want to make sure that we take time to recognize. This idea of a summit began almost well over a year ago. And I had a call on a Sunday afternoon after church from a friend of mine who used to serve in the legislature, and you just met him, Paul DeMarco. And Mr. DeMarco said, "Jim, I got an idea. When can I stop in and see you?" And we talked about the summit. And the summit was actually going to occur in March of 2016. And we had a little trouble putting it together, mainly because of an ethics problem. And let me tell you, stop right there. I was almost an ethics director. The Lord looks after you sometimes, Paul. I'm so glad. So we reversed it. We started having town hall meetings across the state. We've had over 25 town hall meetings. I've been to every Chamber of Commerce. I've been to almost every industrial development meeting. I think I've been to a PAC meeting or a Boy Scout troop meeting. I don't know. But we're taking the message out. And then we met one day with NAMI and the other sponsors, and it caught. Now, the seed was planted over a year ago. And we expected a crop of about 150 people. I said, if we can get 150 people, it's going to be a huge success. We may have 400 people here today before it's over. let me reintroduce Wes Allen. Wes Allen is a probate judge in Pike County, 30 miles from my hometown. He and I have prayed together, we've worked together, played together, and he is a very important part of what I try to do, as many of you are. And Wes is a new young face, and I want you to take time to meet him before you leave today, because he's one of the future leaders of Alabama, and he's going to be mad at me now for even saying that. But I know him. I know his heart. He's a leader. He's a servant leader. So, Wes, thank you for being here. Now, the state of Alabama is blessed with good leadership. I'm particularly proud to have 3 of my very close friends here today, and I want them to stand up right now so you can see. These are 3 of our legislators. Guys, please. And they have been strong supporters of mental health. Give them a hand. Johnny Mack, stay standing. Johnny Mack's from Red Bay, Alabama, and I've been in the Florence, Sheffield area at meetings, and he's always there. Appreciate your friendship. Mr. Farley, stand up, please. A great advocate for mental health. This guy is going to be helping us on the things that we need to do when the legislature kicks in February, and I want to thank you, Arnold Mooney, my friend. Thank you. We've had private meetings here. One day he called me and said, meet me at the Waffle House. I got something I want to run by you. And we spent maybe 2 hours going over the things that you are interested in. There are many others. It's a very busy schedule today. We've got at least 4 different state-related meetings in Birmingham right now. The DAs are downtown. The circuit judges are over at Ross Bridge. There's been some other meetings going on today. So thank you for taking your time out. I realize that you may not be able to stay for the full meeting, but stay as long as you can. I'm the worst speaker in this crowd. This is a very impressive lineup that we have today. Now, I've been commissioner 1.5 years. That's not very long, is it? Well, compared nationally, the nationally commissioners last 1.4 years. So I stand here today as a senior director